Hello and welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are going to have the second day today, and we are going to discuss about Juz 2 this time. So, inshallah, may Allah reward us and also make this task easy throughout the holy month and the task that we have taken now. May Allah make it easy and help us complete that particular task, inshallah. So moving forward, we are going to discuss like 1/3 of the surah in this particular in Surah Al-Baqarah we have in Juz 2. So we will be discussing about this inshallah and something related to Bani Israel and then the mistakes that they have done so that we don't continue that same mistake and how they have earned Allah's wrath. All that things we are going to discuss inshallah. And the significance of Ramadan is also there in this particular Juz. So we will be discussing about that as well inshallah. So in ayah number 152, that is Allah says, it's a profound thought that Allah says, "Fadhkuruni adhkurkum." Just remember me so that I will remember you. And washkuruli, and also show that gratitude to me. Be thankful, give thanks to me. And wala takfurun, do not be ungrateful. Do not be amongst those who are not showing their gratitude. Such a profound thought. I just had to imagine what happens if the master of the entire universe is calling us and telling that I remember you. Imagine, he's not addressing the masses there, he's addressing each and every individual, every soul, and he's telling that I remember you. You also remember me. But show that gratitude because he's the only one who needs to be shown or who needs to be given that thanks to. Right? So let us all show our gratitude, be thankful to Allah for all that favors that He has bestowed upon all of us. So if you tell about ourselves, you yourself, you count your bounties and the blessings that Almighty has blessed you with, and you realize how much of blessings we have. But most of us do not remember this. Most of us do not show our gratitude the way it has to be shown, right? So let us be mindful, at least in this Ramadan, be thankful to all that what Allah has given us. Just list down. It's an action plan that we need to do. Write down all that blessings. I'm sure even in the Quran it says, even if you write it down, the pen, the ink also may dry up or it gets over. The sea or the water in the sea also will be dried up, even if you start writing the number of favors that Allah has given us. I remember that. But the thing is, right now, as an ummah, it's our duty to just make aware of to our own self that these are the blessings that Almighty has blessed us. So try to write it down and make a picture of all that which He has given us. This is going to really help us to show our gratitude in every moment of our lives. Okay, so moving forward, we have Surah Al-Baqarah. We have ayah 155. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ. So وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ. So it is like, how Allah has created us, and at the same time He is going to give us that test, a trial, that you are afflicted to certain kind of problems or challenges in life, just as the source of a trial, or it's just a part of a life that will help you to get something more out of it, or you learn something more out of it. So you may be tested with maybe hunger or hope or fear. It depends like what kind of test that you have. Maybe Allah is testing us with property or loss of property or loss of life, something which is common that we can see in all of us, right? All of us are facing these kinds of issues one way or the other. Like I would say that Allah has created us, at the same time He has given us the lifespan and then death, which is inevitable. which is the truth, ultimate truth for all of us. So we have to face death, and between that, whatever days are there, we have different question papers, and we have to answer it. And it is said that Quran is the one that is said to be the book of reference. Okay, so we need to refer this book and play the role. Once you start playing the role and then you get an idea how to answer the exam, you are able to get that success. So once we face death, we will be getting our results as well. So just, and it's just a beautiful anatomy that Mufassirin have given us about the life and the death. Okay, so we need to understand anything that afflicts us, it's all part and parcel of part and parcel of our life, and it's a trial. Once we start getting all these afflictions, or once we face all these problems, a muttaqin, or the person who believes, he says inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. So when I said that, I remember an incident that happened with me. Once a person came to me and said, a relative of mine is he has met with an accident and now he is in an emergency room, he's in the ICU, so do pray for him. I said, oh, that's very sad. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. So he started telling me, hey, what are you doing this? Why are you telling this? He didn't die. He's not expired. I said, yes, I understand. He's not dead, but may Allah make it easy for him. That's what I have just tell that, and he just left from there. But the thing is, I felt people are so ignorant that when do we say inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un? It's not just confined to only the news of the death. It's about anything wrong that appears or anything displeasing that you feel. You need to say this word. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. So this is a kind of sabr that or patience that Allah is giving into our minds also when you say this. So we feel relieved that okay, this is from Allah and we are going to get returned back to Allah. So what do we need to do in this lifespan, the period of time, the life that Allah has given us? So we need to think about these and move ahead. Next, I'm talking about ayat number 157. Okay. Ulaika alayhim salawatum min rabbihim wa rahmatun wa ulaika humul muhtadun. Such people, those Allah is pleased with, they are going to get some blessings without any expectations, far more than our expectations. Now Allah didn't ask us whether you want your eyesight, you wanted your digestive system to be working in a working condition or not, right? He has given us by default. Alhamdulillah, we have got all that. He never asked whether you want your parents to be like this, you wanted your health to be like this, your face to be like this, right? He has given us a particular identity, and some of the features that he has given us, and also the blessings that he has given us, it is something countless, and we never expected that. So beyond our expectations also, he has been giving us so much. So it is our duty again to get back to him for all that what he has given. Okay, let us be mindful about it. Let us try to understand exactly why he is doing this. And now in the next ayah, we also have to say about the Muslims, or exactly what is the problem with the Muslims. Ayah number 157. Sorry, 159. I'm so sorry. It is 159. Allah says in the Quran, it is about the Jews. In fact, it's about the Jews, that why Jews were not able to, they were targeted for certain reasons. What they did, what was the main mistake that they did? That was they confined the knowledge of Deen to one particular community or one particular class, I would say noble class as we call it these days. So maybe the noble class, or only those scholars were confined to all that knowledge that was imparted after the death of Musa alayhi salam. So it happened like that. And then they had manipulated all other people around, and those who didn't know about it also, when they were having that corruption, they never stopped these scholars, so-called scholars. They never stopped them, or they didn't even transform these people. They didn't even bother to stop them from all that evil, nor did they try to transform them, saying that trying to correct them, telling that you don't have to do this is not our deen. So never tried, they never made an effort to do that. And that's the reason Allah had to punish them. So there were so many other about punishments. We know about many things, what has happened. We know about Sabbath, people of Sabbath also, what happened. I don't want to go in detail. But the thing is, Allah has made them disgraceful. They are into Allah's wrath, or Allah is angry. So the same situation is here relevant even with us. We being Muslims, we have confined our religion to one particular community. We don't even bother to go and communicate this about this thing to others. That's the main reason nowadays we Muslims are being targeted in the entire world. Because people, we have not shown our religion, at least by our behavior. Do we show our behavior actually what our Deen is telling, what Islam is telling, that particular principles and those values? If we had shown it to people, people would have been so grateful to us. If there was a businessman who never lies, who never cheats, who never betrays others, who never tries to have any, he never has any unwanted relations with the, any the evil people. If that was there, had that been the community, I mean the people of the entire community had those traits in them, nobody would be dare enough to point out one particular person or a Muslim community. Had there been people who were very honest, had there been people who were very helpful to each other, had there been people who were all the time always there for one another, these things are missing out. This is what our Deen is talking about, and we have not been imparting those messages to our community and the rest of the people there. We are into taking loans, manipulating others, trying to insult others, belittle them, shout and scream and make fun of them. These are the traits that we have right now. How can we expect rest of the community to believe in us? We've been betraying all of them. We've been trying to tell lies all the time. So when we are burglars, when we are doing all these kinds, I'm not telling all of us, of course, there are almost 90-95% people who are very good, but almost, we can say, when we have 10 to 5% who are indulged into all these things, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. So we need to impart actually the knowledge of Deen to people, though it may be literally, or you may call it showing it through your behavior. Anyhow, this we need to do it. And this is nothing but the curse from Allah. We are facing all these issues because it is a curse from Allah, except for those who are truly repenting, who have this tawbah all the time. They are repenting, they are turning back to Allah all the time. And again, one who is correcting their behavior every now and then. Okay, I did this mistake again, I should not do it, I should not repeat this. So trying to evaluate themselves and trying to bring that changes within themselves. And third are those people who are spreading the message to others. So except these people, others are all under the wrath of Almighty. So this is an important message, or we all of us need to understand this. Next, I want to talk about ayah number 177. It's about Laysal birra أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر والملائكة والكتاب والنبيين. So there is no virtue, there's no point, turning yourself into Maghrib or Mashriq. It's like, going to the east and west. It's not the point. Diverting your position to east and west is not the case. There's no virtue, there's no point unless you believe in Almighty. That is, Amanu Billah wal Yawmil Akhir. That is on the day of judgment. And wal Malaika, the angels, wal Kitab wal Nabiyin, the books, and also all the apostles or the prophets that were sent to us. When we believe, we need to believe in complete, that is complete belief in the Deen we need. We partially believe and then we expect everything Almighty should give us. There's no point. Just by turning yourself from Mashriq to Maghrib or Maghrib to Mashriq is not the issue at all here. This is a very important message. So the external changes that you create in your life doesn't matter. The sweetness of Deen should be seen within you, within ourselves. This is the sweetness. It has to come out inside the soul, within the soul. So Iman should be reflected as a radiant light, Noor, that should be reflected on the face of a mu'min. This is the genuine quality of a mu'min. We need to understand that. This is very, very important, and these are the attributes of muttaqin. These are the attributes. Whenever anything happens, they are always stern, steadfast in their belief. They're never going to deviate. They're never going to compromise in this regard. And again, the next ayah, it's all about the virtue or, what is qisas, or, you have this retribution. So what is it all about? Allah says in the Qur'an, وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِسَاسِ حَيَاتٌ. There is a life, life capital punishment. So this is nothing but qisas. It is like you understand what is the reason for qisas. Why is that we are given this particular choice? See, qisas, having retributions, is nothing but you learn a lesson. That is, if somebody wants to repent, that chance will be given. That is, one chance will be given. If you see a culprit committing a mistake and he really repents, we need to give that particular a chance for them to rectify their problems. And it's not just you have to behead them or kill them once for all. Nothing of that sort. But the thing is, a culprit has to be punished. And why do we do this? It is to abstain from those sins again. You can't repeat those sins again. You can't expect others also to repeat. So there are two things here. Others also are learning something from the punishments that has been given. So qisas is nothing but punishing the culprit, but at the same time making it very clear that others cannot do this. Now, when others are saying this in public, what happens is public is able to understand that what is going to end up, I'm going to end up having this consequences later on if I do this. Okay, people are able to get lessons from there. So this is nothing wrong. We have to understand this. Next comes again about Ramadan, about the month of Ramadan, why this particular month is so significant. So ayah number 183, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, kutiba alaykumus siyam, kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum, la'allakum tattaqun. We have given you, or we have made it obligatory on you to fast. Just like how we have given this to the rest of the former people or the communities earlier. That means all other people who came in the past also had, the Sharia is different, of course. The style of fasting may be different, but they too had some or the other ways of fasting. Okay, so fasting has been part and parcel of the life throughout. So what is the essence of having Ramadan here. It's nothing but creating taqwa. So I can say, it is a complete package of personality development. How do you develop yourself, your soul? How do you change your soul? And you need minimum 21 days to transform any particular action into a habit, so that habitual practices can make you lead a life. So this is that, up to 30 days, when you start doing certain things continuously, persistently, what happens? We get that habit. Those habitual practices are helpful for us to lead rest of the lives, that is the next 11 months. And then again it is charged, right? After 11 months we are again charged with Ramadan, and that's how this process goes on. We need to understand how helpful these conditions are to us. Why do we need all these things? Again and again we are reminded. This is nothing but a I can say an offer that Allah has given us. Buy one, get 70, get 700 free. Of course, we would go to that particular shop where a person is written that board, right? Buy one. So, of course, if you say buy one and get one free, we would not go there. We would go to the place where buy one, get 70 free, buy one, get 700 free, right? We would go there because there is some logic. It's an offer that Almighty is giving us, and we need to understand that it is nothing but creating, cleansing our own soul. Cleansing our own soul every now and then, and we need to do it. It is mandatory. Imagine not talking any evil for 1 month. Prophet ﷺ said, if somebody is telling you anything bad or anything ill about you, they are making fun of you, or they are telling something, they are shouting at you, screaming, yelling, or doing something, tell them, inni sa'imatun. Inni sa'imun. Of course, as ladies, sa'imatun. So what happens when you say that? It's not just once. He said twice, thrice also you say those things, say that sentence and then leave that place. Now, why did Prophet ﷺ ask us to do that? Imagine what happens if the person is trying to encounter those talks and then trying to have some clashes in between. Situation would turn worse. Now, when one person is just keeping quiet, saying that it's okay, you can do whatever you want, but right now I'm not in a position to speak, I just want to leave, and then he leaves, what is going to happen? The maximum thing, right? The situation is under control. This is what we wanted. Having peace and security is something that Islam is always stressing. So inshallah, we need to work on that. And again, after that, Allah says in the Quran, Shahr Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Qur'an. Hudan linnas. It's all about Hudan linnas. It is nothing but for the purpose of guidance. It is nothing but the guidance that Almighty is giving us. So, Siyam, or this kind of I would say training, is to give us a particular kind of the development of your own self. Change the entire thing. That is, you have to go from that darkness to the light, from that transgression into guidance. This is something that we want, some kind of holistic changes that we want to bring in our behavior. And that's the reason we have here this particular month. May Allah bless us, accept all our fasting that we do, all other minor, major deeds that we do. May Allah accept it. So consciously remember Allah. Stop evil. Stop all kinds of lies, all kinds of cheating or betrayal and all that things. And this should continue the entire year. Once you start that habitual practice, see that we continue this for the rest of the months, 11 months also. These are the traits of a true muttaqi. Whether this Ramadan has transformed you or not, it depends on all that what you have done in the next 11 months. So let us be mindful about it. Let us show that the Noor that Almighty has given us, it is reflected through our behavior. Now, we know about, again, this particular Qur'an, هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمْ شَهْرًا فَلْيَصِمْ. Whoever is witnessing this month, you just have to fast. And you know about Laylatul Qadr. So it is one night is equal to thousands of nights. So thousands of nights we are going to get, as if we are, trying to worship Almighty. Getting very closer bond with Almighty is very important. We need to thank and ask Allah for everything. Imagine our boss remembering us, giving that concern about us, and trying to bring some kind of benefits that he wants to exclusively give it to us. How would we feel? We feel very humble. We feel that gratitude. The same thing should be there even to Almighty, because He is the creator of the universe. It's not just about one firm or one enterprise, right? It's not about one business. It's nothing when compared to that of the Jannah that Allah has promised. So we need to be mindful about it and bring that holistic approach, all the time being connected, bringing that bond between the creator and his creations. It's very important. Let us have that holistic development, or holistic approach from our end to see to it that we get connected with Almighty as much as possible, as strong as possible. And the last thing, that the last ayah of today's discussion is about, so in 214, أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يأتيكم مثل الذين خلوا من قبلكم. Do you think you will enter the Jannah without undergoing any kind of problems or challenges? This has been given, these experiences are there from the beginning only. We've been giving this to all the believers. How can you expect that you will not be getting any trials? Very easily we will be entering Jannah. We cannot expect anything in this world in similitude to Jannah, right? So we cannot expect that we can easily get into this particular world. Jannah is for those who really strive for it. In this world, we need that trials and challenges, tribulations, so that we become very strong. Our iman is strong. Only those people are getting all the ways to Jannah. May Allah accept all our little deeds and unite us in Jannah. May our tawbah and our du'as be accepted and help us get the all our dreams come true, inshallah. May all our halal aspirations be answered as early as possible. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.